He was on the Daily Show, I thought.
Yeah, they collabed a lot.
So is this guy like a lefty or something though?
I think he's just like really smart. He has a talk show. I don't.
On that Russell Brand video, when we commented, guys, about different perspectives, and somebody was like, "Man, y'all are staying on one side. Y'all need to get different perspectives." Somebody recommended this guy.
I like Jon Stewart. I've seen a couple episodes of his show.
But he's a Democrat, but he's not like a far like.
I don't think he's like a crazy liberal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I suspected. He's probably not far left.
He probably just votes blue, but I think he understands.
He has respect for a lot of conservatives with his things. He's not like super crazy or nothing like that.
Man, I never knew this got this deep though, man. People are going pretty insane about
politics
this.
is deep. That's the whole
what?
status of the nation.
It's insane that
you don't want to save
you wanna know what's crazy? Because when I was a kid,
you don't care about.
When I was a kid, like when niggas would talk about when people, I won't say when people would talk about politics, I'd be like, I don't care at all. But now that I'm older,
I never cared.
I kind of like have somewhat of an interest in it.
You think you may ever come to the adult that go home and watch the news every day?
Nah.
You know, they get to that point.
That's too
Y'all parents do that?
I mean, yeah, it's cool.
They'll put on the morning. They'll put on like the local news.
That's what I'm saying, like the local news.
My grandma
The
do.
local news, yeah, that's diff.
You got to sometimes, bro.
They'll put on like KOCO and watch. We'll see what's going on around the city. See what the news in the morning. But
a lot of our
watching
subscribers
CNN or
think this is so insane that we are able to talk and like have different opinions and be able to be friends.
Exactly, because the problem today is people always, like even with politics, you get so like embedded into it to where like you get, so when someone says something contrary to what you believe, like you get offended and don't like them as a person.
Exactly.
Like,
you don't think they should help poor people? You're not my friend anymore, bro.
Man, forget you don't care about the
they say you shouldn't be that way.
You're going to hell.
Yeah, but they say you shouldn't be that way.
I don't want to give $5 million to black people.
You're an asshole. You're not my friend anymore.
Well, you're my friend. You don't want to give black people.
That's insane, guys.
Y'all want to give money to black people? You're a bunch of Uncle Toms.
They were saying Democrats and Republicans used to be friends outside and stuff. Now they like can't stand each other.
Like, that's so weird, bro.
Say two bodies.
You got a little small brain.
You gotta love, bro. You gotta love.
And your ego's too big.
Yeah.
What happened to one guy under?
Kill a nigga behind too, man.
It's a subculture. You want to kill another behind that. My brother.
If they kill my brother,
I got slaughtered. God. I thought we were supposed to be one nation under God, man.
Mr.
We is, boy.
I feel like I've seen him before.
Yeah, bro. His show, he used to be on, was it Comedy Central?
It was comedy. I think he was always on Comedy Central.
No, he had a show on there.
Yeah.
What? Like, what was he doing?
He has like
Comedy
entertaining
Central?
banner. It has to be, huh?
Something.
Y'all
Daily
ready?
Show.
Y'all ready?
Hold on, we have to confirm this real
Relax,
quick.
brother.
Slow your roll, brother.
Okay, I was just, y'all said clicking and then we went
No,
on a
bro.
whole rant, you know what I'm saying?
trying to-
Yeah, it was on Comedy Central, The Daily Show.
Yeah.
Jon Stewart. Now it's got Trevor Noah on there.
Trevor Noah.
Yeah, he took over.
Okay, I knew I wasn't tripping.
Dang, Trevor Noah making $16 million a year off that show.
Trevor Noah's a good host. I like him. He's a good host.
Okay, man. The title is The Problem with White People. How do they say it?
White
people. Problem with white power.
White power. White power.
Turn them up, bro. See if he's all the way up. White power.
As you may know, this country has had some issues with race. Sphincters are tightening already. We've had some issues with race. There was that incident in 1619, and then had a few hiccups since then. But mostly it's been fine. We've all been chilling. It's been chill. Until a couple years ago, another rare bad thing happened to black people in the summer of 2020.
George Floyd's death is sparking a national reckoning.
The death of George Floyd, it sparks this global movement, this racial reckoning.
We here in America certainly had our own racial reckoning in the wake of George Floyd's death. A growing number of American companies facing a racial reckoning.
As America confronts a racial reckoning.
A racial reckoning.
It also comes at a time of racial reckoning for the country.
What a word.
So you guys are finally ready to talk about racial reckoning.
He's considered racial.
We don't want to right the wrongs. We just reckon we're going to think about it for a bit. Well, not to worry. This egregious midday murder will not be in vain. Let the work of righting centuries of oppression begin.
Aunt Jemima is being retired.
That's some good syrup, bro.
He's so funny. He's funny.
white people.
I can't buy this.
It's owned by white people.
Well, man, Jemima on there.
That's like them getting
Look
hot.
at it.
That's like you getting hot for Popeyes.
By any means necessary.
Cream of wheat is removing the black chef from its packaging.
Chris Harrison, host of The Bachelor, has announced he is stepping away.
Every NFL stadium, you're going to see phrases like end racism.
Tonight we know the Dixie Chicks are dropping the Dixie.
The village of Hempstead renamed Main Street Black Lives Matter Way.
We will now kneel.
No, she got on.
She got a dust.
No. Man, she hit the nail.
No.
All the white folks hit the nail.
That just hurt me.
Well,
hey, there's a lot going on.
Production of Lion King ever. But more than Kente cloth calisthenics and some long overdue brand readjustments, there came another, even more meaningful cultural shift.
I think white people need to listen.
White people should listen to African Americans. White people, we need to listen.
We are listening. I am listening. Now it's time for us to have ears to hear.
You know what? Does this feel cringe? Is it me or does this feel cringe?
This is very cringy.
It's well good, because I've been using mine for fucking. two at a time. I like my ear fucking like I like my Pink Floyd albums in stereo.
Shout out Pink Floyd.
Yeah, we changed it from rehearsal for the crew that got a bit of a tickle out of that. Yes, apparently this racial issue that so divides America could have just been solved if only black people would have said something. So, okay, white people, ears to hear.
This is the harsh reality for black people in America today, that we are expected to participate in democracy while receiving conditional citizenship in return.
How you talking about, bro? Did you just say that, bro? Hold on, bro.
When zip code determines.
Go back. We're expected to participate in democracy with
today.
Conditional citizenship. What the hell does
That
that
we
even
are
mean?
expected to participate in democracy
You are not a victim.
while receiving conditional citizenship in return.
When zip code determines what kind of school that you go to, when zip code determines what kind of food you can eat, these are the vestiges of enslavement.
So when they say, why do you burn down the community? Why do you burn down your own neighborhood? It's not ours. We don't own anything.
It's amazing why we keep loving this country and this country does not love us back.
I mean, this stuff is hard to hear. But these are tough conversations, and I would probably have more hope in its impact on our culture if those same exact sentiments hadn't already been conveyed to white people over and over and over, like 1 year earlier on The Breakfast Club.
They never addressed the primary problems of black folk. Our primary problem was not social integration or civil rights. The primary problem is you never corrected the legacies and burdens of slavery.
Or by Viola Davis at an award show in 2015.
The only thing that separates women of color from anyone else is opportunity.
Or in the 90s, when Sister Souljah explained this directly to Bill Clinton and Larry King.
The thing that kills African people in America is not what white people say, but what they do. Their policies, their actions.
See, white people are pretending that this problem is new, and we're just hearing about it now because we love to discover stuff that's already existed. Wow. It's kind of our thing. Wow. America! Where did you come from? As a matter of fact, this shit has been said many times just by Chris Rock.
Shit, there ain't a white man in this room that would change places with me, and I'm rich. You have 400 years head start, motherfucker. See, the black man gotta fly to get something that the white man could walk to. A black C-student can't even be the manager of Burger King. Meanwhile, the white C-student just happens to be the president
You got one pause?
He's a very good comedian. But you know what? Maybe you don't want to hear about our racial divide and have it be funny. Would you rather black people invent an entire genre of music just to explain it to us?
Fathers of the country never cared for me. They kept my ancestors shackled up to slavery. And Uncle Sam never did a damn thing for me. Tell lie about the facts in my history.
But you know what? It's wonderful that white people are finally ready to sit back and listen. But damn, the black people speaking out now are just sampling the classics.
Racism is so deeply embedded into the fabric of the society.
Thank you, Angela. James Baldwin went all the way to England to explain it because he wanted to do it at white people headquarters.
It comes as a great shock to discover that the country, which is your birthplace, and to which you owe your life and your identity, has not in its whole system of reality evolved any place for you.
For fuck's sake, Frederick Douglass told white people the rich inheritance of justice, liberty, prosperity, and independence bequeathed by your fathers is shared by you, not by me. He said that in 1852. And now, 170 years later, suddenly we're like, hey, you seem upset. We're still cool though, right? Did we do something? Black people have given us step-by-step instructions through the centuries. They didn't even do that with the electric slide. By the way, 3 steps and then you bend. I don't want to get into it. And yet, even after all that, the wealth gap, worse now. Home ownership, worse now. Segregation, worse now. On average, a white high school graduate is wealthier than a black college graduate.
Damn.
Forget about them telling you even the stark facts don't seem to matter.
Black Americans should understand that if they study and work hard, they will likely succeed in this country.
That's Bill O'Reilly.
Just not as much as white people who don't study as hard. We have been told over and over and over again by black people that this country has never resolved the original sins of slavery and segregation. But the response to that is always,
if Barack Obama can make it as the son of a single white mom, then so can everybody else.
Oprah Winfrey is perhaps the best example of a talented person who made it on her own in America.
LeBron James is a great American success story.
How can America be racist if Cleveland has a championship?
She gave Cleveland one.
Believe what black people tell us.
He came back
how
and
many
won.
times they say it. It lands on deaf ears. Because a large swath of white America believes that black Americans are solely responsible for their community struggle. And the bias is so pervasive, we don't even notice it.
Crack. Who's responsible? Let me tell you straight out. Everyone who uses drugs.
And perchance, who would this everyone be?
Crack has become the new franchise, a chemical McDonald's. You want to get high, you see the guys in the gangs, in the red and blue outfits.
The front line in the war on crack.
There are tens of thousands more crack babies on the way.
Crack babies are going to overwhelm every social service delivery system.
Before, we could afford to ignore the hopelessness represented by gangs, but now we're afraid it will affect our schools, our kids, our streets.
It's as innocent looking as candy, but it's turning our cities into battle zones, and it's murdering our children.
What kind of fucking candy do you eat?
Oh, it's so powerful. That hour sounds so powerful.
Now, this is not to downplay at all the effects of the crack epidemic, but we are currently in the midst of an equally corrosive opioid epidemic, although that affects a slightly different everyone. And how is that portrayed?
America's addiction to opioids is playing out right down the street. Every type of person you can imagine. Successful people, funny people, moms, dads, grandparents, injured athletes, cancer patients, war veterans. Chances are greater than ever you know someone directly affected. Why are opioids so hard to quit?
Notice how that clip art was
That's
like,
That's the point. Yeah, that's what you was alluding to.
I'm not going to get into it right now. But the point is, it's on purpose. And the people who made it that way only had to pay a fine. But that's drugs. I'm sure poverty doesn't have the same empathy yet.
Inner city is a polite name for ghetto, as in black ghetto.
Damn. Damn, that was aggressive.
In the ghetto?
In the ghetto?
And that's the award-winning PBS journalist. So, just out of curiosity, why is the black ghetto poor?
Intelligent Americans know. It is the collapse of the traditional family that is wreaking havoc in the African American community.
72% of black babies are born to single mothers.
If they would start talking about the responsibilities of fatherhood.
Dependency on welfare was breaking up black families.
I would not be surprised at that.
And an extraordinarily dysfunctional.
Go back.
I'm keeping that. That's
72.
That might be right.
About the responsibilities of fatherhood.
Dependency on welfare was breaking up black families.
The breakdown of the black family and an extraordinarily dysfunctional, toxic inner city culture.
Inner city. Damn. Excuse me, the politically correct phrase is black ghetto. Good day. By the way, how do we portray poverty in the outer city?
Ruggedly beautiful and deeply poor Appalachia for decades has struggled.
People here have struggled more and more as their factories have shuttered and their coal mines have closed.
It's been a slow, painful drip of job losses for decades.
It used to be with a high school degree, you could get a job that actually could provide for your family. Yeah. And the disappearance of those may lead people to feel a lot more stressed.
So that low self-worth, along with that hopelessness feeling, we start seeing tremendous depression. So how do you relieve depression? You can relieve it with drug use, alcohol use.
White people are poor and do drugs because something has been done to them. Black people are poor and do drugs because they won't just get up and do something. Mm-hmm. Everything that happens is viewed through that filter.
What started as peaceful protest devolving into something beyond that.
An explosion of violence today.
This is not what we want people to see of the city of Philadelphia.
Well, makes perfect sense. How would you like people to see the city of Philadelphia?
The Eagles' victory touched off a wild celebration in Philadelphia.
The celebration quickly got rowdy. Fans pulled down traffic lights.
The awning in front of the Ritz-Carlton Hotel collapsed.
So that's not as bad as Miami. Remember?
Well, looks like everybody had a good time there last night.
It's going on every night versus one night.
And thus, the problem with white people. I'm just gonna stop for a second and pose so you can get your memes out. Okay, there we go. Get a good picture for your clickbaits. For however sincerely we want to reckon and listen, the truth is America has always prioritized white comfort over black survival. Black people have had to fight so hard for equality that they've been irreparably set back in the pursuit of equity. And any real attempt to repair a ton of that damage, reparation, sets off white people's "they're coming for our shit" alarm, which we would know ourselves had we actually been listening.
My feeling is white people have a very, very serious problem, and they should start thinking about what they can do about it. Take me out of it.
Understood.
I feel like he made bad points. points on there. Like,
No, a lot of points were made.
A lot of points were made.
A lot of points were made. I'll let you guys go first.
It was. I mean, it was so much said. Do y'all mind revisiting some of the things? And I don't mess with it.
It was
just he was hitting on so many different topics.
He did.
But I mean,
anything specifically stood out to anybody?
I mean, I think he was basically saying the opposite of the videos we've been watching.
Yes, I was literally about to say that. That's what I was
saying.
about to say. Bro, the fact that he's a Democrat, just the way that he portrays media versus the way the conservative media is portrayed is completely different.
That is
it's
actually
completely
crazy.
different. But the thing I liked about him, he like kind of portrayed it without making it like, oh, they're victims. Kind of did, but like not as much.
Yeah.
You know? But then
I do think it was a little victimish.
In what ways?
There was definitely some points that were victimish.
Like how? Which ones?
The part where she was like, black people want to do democracy for conditional citizenship.
That was insane.
And then there was like that whole spiel. That little loop right there was kind of victim-y. But you know,
I gotta re-listen to that clip again.
There was some points made. I think like some of the statistics back it up, but and how the media portrays it, I think that was a good statistic. They try to make it seem like it's our fault. You know what I'm saying? I would say it's a little bit of half and half.
All right, what about the point? How y'all feel about the opportunity?
I think the way he was portraying it was like, oh, it's all our fault that they have all these problems.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I didn't really
a
like
little
that.
bit of both.
I didn't really like that. Yeah, because that type of media and mindset, I feel like has led to the grift that we're at now.
I agree.
So that to me, I wasn't very appreciative of, but the numbers were interesting. I did think like I can't argue with statistics because I'm a logical guy, so I can't argue with that. But yeah, man, there was some good points made, but I just didn't really like the way it was being portrayed and like the message that was being conveyed. Like, oh, we have to listen. But what the hell is that gonna do?
Yeah, that felt cringe when they said.
That was cringe in the
What was cringe?
When they was taking knees and
yeah.
Oh, that was cringe.
Listen. We were listening, black folks.
Yeah, I didn't really like that.
We're gonna just leave our mouth wide open.
Racism on the fields and stuff. I wasn't really a fan of that.
I don't know, man. I think
a lot of his points did feed into the victim mentality. Just to me,
and in what way?
Yeah, because he's kind of blaming white people. He was just kind of
like I would agree. Obviously, all the problem ain't black people's fault, and it's not all white people's fault either. It's like
it's definitely a bit of both.
It's a gray area.
His points were
definitely.
I mean, his points were valid. But on some of those clips, it was a little too cringe, where it was like, okay, that's victim mentality. But some of the points were like, okay, that happened.
One of the biggest points that he showed was like the way media portrayed the problems on both sides. Like when they show black problems, it's like, oh, they're the problem. They're gonna make it spread to us. How Ty said, they kept saying our community. Yeah, that's kind of what he was saying, and that's what he was saying. They were saying. Then they show white people. Oh, they're just struggling and going through tough times, and they're having it rough. But it was us. Oh, they're destroying their communities and destroying this and that. They're spreading crack everywhere and birthing crack babies.
Where else are they gonna be?
Yeah, that was bad.
So I feel like this is just the way
the media was trying to demonize us. And the logic that comes out of that would victimize us. I didn't really like that. But
people want to have too much power, and the media is the problem.
Say it again?
Too much. People want to be overpowered, and the media is the problem.
The media perpetuates the message.
Because the power is them trying to do tactics.
It's propaganda.
Yeah, the tactics that they're doing to push us against each other. So that's power. I mean, they use the media for that.
They use the media to push a narrative.
But
they were
both sides.
They were definitely pushing.
But that's both sides that pay for
both sides.
Yeah, because like Fox
they both do
Republicans.
They both do that. That's what I'm saying. That's the problem. That's the problem, bro.
Yeah, I think I think anyone that could honestly admit that both parties are flawed, and especially like both medias are flawed, that really makes sense.
But I feel like at the end of the time, man, everybody always gonna look at something different. So I don't think that.
Yeah, because the way he viewed it was totally different than anything we have heard.
Yeah. And I think his points were. I think the clips he might have showed, we might have had some bad selection of clips, but I think I thought he made some good points.
I think the clips.
I think some of the clips were victimized. I didn't feel like he was. I mean, let me know if I'm wrong.
He was a great guy.
I think he did a good job of showing the narrative that they were pushing.
Yeah, for him to be on a different side, he did great.
It was very divisive.
A+.
How do y'all feel about that one statistic where it was like a high school, a white graduate?
That was crazy.
Did they say 100K and
we need to take some notes from Thomas Sewell, and we need to get more statistics to add to that data to get a more accurate
number.
Where
do they take the sample from?
Yeah, we need to know where the data's coming from and why. But I mean, it is crazy the fact that that's even a thing, though. But I want to know more, though. I want before I form an opinion.
You know what's always been crazy?
I would like to do a deeper dive on that.
How Republican and Democrats are the same colors as Crips and Bloods.
I know. It's
just crazy though. It is crazy though, bro.
Yeah, those are just opposite.
Red and blue.
Those are two primary opposite colors.
Like,
what should we do? Purple and gold?
Purple and yellow. Like, damn, why had to be the same color?
White and black.
That's crazy.
That's the biggest color division.
Oh my god, yeah. I feel like for him to be on a different side though, man, this was a great video. I mean, it was excellent.
Yeah,
work
no,
for
definitely.
him.
I like the narrative. I like Jon Stewart. He's cool. I think.
Here today.
Yeah, I think he made some good points, but I definitely am glad that you noticed that it was like completely different. That was what I was gonna say. That's why I said I wanted. I was like, this is like the complete opposite of everything else we deep dived into.
It has been for sure.
I don't really like the victim mentality, but the message, the facts, and the notes on the media was really interesting to me. I do think they do that.
What ways did you think he had the victim mentality? You think it was the clips or like
just the clips? He was like he was just saying like white people, we need to listen. This is our problem. White people.
Yeah, he was saying white people are bad.
Like,
basically on some.
Like, I'm not gonna say like that. Like some of the points he made wasn't true. Like obviously, like there was some points he made. Is it all white people's fault though?
Yeah, I don't think it's productive for black people to blame white people. To help black people,
you can't do that.
Rise up. It doesn't gonna do anything to tell white people more about racism than already.
I agree, and then I also think when we look in the black community and address the problems, you can't blame people that aren't in the black community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
black people are not in the black community.
To me, bringing it up.
So to me,
bringing it up is doing what?
It's making it worse, bro. Because it's making a white kid in school even feel guilty.
Yeah, like, no, and they shouldn't feel guilty.
Bringing it up is doing nothing.
The way you feel like they shouldn't teach it in school.
I really don't think.
No, I'm not gonna say they shouldn't teach it.
So you feel like they should not tell slavery in school?
I don't know, man, but I just feel like
that's American history. They definitely should teach it.
I don't know, man. I feel like it makes it worse though. I feel like it makes it bad, bro.
I mean, they teach you what happened.
I don't think so, bro.
I mean, it educates you though. So
it does, bro. It happened.
Yeah,
you gotta tell about.
There's all type of stuff America did,
but it does change.
You can't not talk about it.
I don't know, but I just feel like whatever you consume then is like how you're gonna.
But that's the history of our country, bro. As a black American, you gotta know that that's just how it is.
Yeah,
that's how you got here.
I'm also saying though, like
if you don't teach that, how are you going to find some type of?
But they don't gotta teach that like it was just white people that are evil. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Wait, say it again.
They don't have to teach that like white people.
Well, I never looked at it.
You feel like white people
was evil?
No. I think like if the reason people don't want to teach slavery in school is because they'll make it seem like they're teaching white people.
Yeah, and it could just lead to different things. Like white people could just feel a certain type of way about that, and they could just feel like, well, you're black, and like it just. I feel like it just can be bad.
I think that's
with victimics mindset. Would you say not like the current problems, but the I guess problems that some people might feel that white people might have put black people in this position? Would you agree with that? That if a black person was like, well, I feel like we're in this position because
that's what I think. It's both. It's a gray area. It's like it's a little bit of black people's fault. It's also a little bit of white people's fault. It's not entirely.
Yeah, I think black people may keep up what may have been caused. Like in a sense, like the current state of what it is. I think we may keep up that what may have been caused, but I think if a black person to say, well, we might have been put in the situation from years ago, I could agree with that. But I think it's black. I'd say like it's inwardly the problem, like us continuing that. That makes sense.
I think it's both. Let
me know if you disagree.
I really think that everybody should hear each other out though, definitely, because watching this video, I can definitely see like a lot of his points. So I feel like whatever you consume yourself in is what you're gonna lead toward. Because like watching this video, I was feeling like certain type of guilt from watching these clips. So then I was like, I'm not gonna say I'm leaning toward one way, but like I started feeling this because at first I was only seeing one way. I was seeing only the right way, but seeing both ways now, like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I kind of grew up seeing more liberal side than the right side. That's why I'm kind of in the middle. But like seeing that side after seeing so much of what we've been seeing, just kind of cringed me out because it's just completely opposite, like we said. But there's a lot of the points was cringy, but the stats was very interesting though.
And everybody should just be.
We should just all
egalitarian, man. Just hear each other out and
agree to disagree.
I just feel like a two-party system with opposing viewpoints, like how we've noticed how they both this is that, and it's opposite of each other will never benefit one American people. We're all supposed to be one in a community, so I feel like you just gotta be open-minded. And when you vote, you have to just make decisions based on what you think. Based rather than this
when
is
you make it
conservative
this
way
team
to
versus
go.
that team, it's like
that's what I'm saying.
If you on this team, but I don't agree with this and that.
Yeah.
Well, then do I want to be on this team?
That's the thing. People do straight line voting where they just only vote Republican, only vote Democrat. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
That I don't agree with it at all. I know a lot of people in Oklahoma that straight
stop
line vote.
making a team.
I know a lot of people.
Make it a team thing. My team versus your team.
That's what I'm saying.
In Oklahoma, that is a big thing. A lot of people will straight line vote. That's why it's
What state is that? A blue state or red state?
Red is a mother boy.
The dirt is red.
So you would never know if you don't
state,
consume
baby.
yourself with both, bro. I just feel like both parties should just consume themselves with both sides, bro. And then let your gut feeling be the answer, man.
It's bigger than black and white.
Alright, man, yeah. If y'all have some more people that y'all want us to do, man, this was great, though. So, yeah, let us know some more people.
John Stewart, maybe Trevor Noah.
Yeah, let us know who y'all want, man. We're going to do it, man.
Stephen Colbert.
Yeah,
I had a dream.
One of those three.
And then one day,
You gonna have mixed babies.
All right, guys.